friends and family. First and foremost, I am not writing you with a spirit of hatred, resentment, or criticism. I am not writing from a place of woundedness or a need for any response from anyone. I am writing you to offer an alternative perspective. I'm also writing to speak truth and to stay true to the calling I know I have on my life. I write and speak because I must. It is who I am. Nothing more, nothing less. Please know that the following words are not for the faint of heart or easily offended. I have long since ceased to care for pleasantries and sugarcoating the truth. If you are not brave of heart, turn back now. If you are, you can't say, I didn't warn you. Have you ever wondered where the saying, hell hath no fury, like a woman scorned, came from? If you haven't, maybe you should think on that for a few minutes. What comes to mind when you hear those words in your head? Who did something to this woman? What exactly did they do? And why is she so scorned? What is she so pissed off about that she is willing to raise hell's fury? Whatever it is, it must have been something pretty serious. My next question is this: is there a place further than scorned that she could have reached? I think there is. But before we go much further, allow me to introduce myself. I grew up in a small town in South Carolina, where there's no option other than going to church on Sundays, Bible study service, lunch, and youth group later that night, and Wednesday nights. Christianity was synonymous with our culture. In many ways, they were one and the same. I attended a small private Christian school and graduated with a class of 36. I went on to attend a small private Bible college and earned a bachelor's degree in Bible and psychology. In many ways, I was well-liked, seemed successful. I spent the next 3.5 years working towards a master's degree in clinical counseling at the same institution, but was dismissed from attendance after the school discovered my sexuality. What many people don't know, however, is that I had been and was continuing to be severely abused at the hands of those that claimed Christ's authority in my life. I was literally, systematically, psychologically tortured to the point of having a psychotic episode for almost a year. Now, for anyone that thinks that mental illness is a joke or that people are faking it, take it from me, they aren't. I have been abused physically, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, and sexually, all at the hands of people who represented God to me. After everything I've experienced, I can say that the psychotic break was the worst and most terrifying. Essentially, you lose control of your ability to control your mind and trust your perception. I was trapped in my unique version of hell, literally. Perception is reality. It feels as though you're being raped by your own mind. The experience of total and utter powerlessness is beyond anything I can put into words. People aren't faking it. Their brains, bodies, and environments are sick. Initially, it was my faith that saved me and kept me alive. All of that came crashing down when someone in authority in my life decided that the childhood sexual abuse I disclosed to them could be healed, but I would have to trust them. It would take a long time to paint the context of this for you to really understand the complexities of the situation. For our purposes, I'm going to stick to the main points. At a moment of vulnerability and weakness, after a lifetime of abuse, I felt as though there might be a glimmer of hope, a way to escape the hell. I couldn't have been more wrong. This individual literally told me that they were the hands and feet of Jesus, and that by reenacting my childhood sexual abuse, I would be healed. I was not in a position to be able to make this individual stop. And that, my friends, is the day it all changed. What do you do when the very thing that was keeping you alive becomes the source of what triggers your flashbacks and panic attacks? What do you do when everything and everyone you've known or cared about tosses you away like a piece of trash when they find out who you really are? I have fought my way back from the internal hell I've been living in. I never gave up. Today, I know who I am. I know who God is and who He is not. When you live most of your life in the dark, you become very sensitive to seeing the light in the world. But this is my story, and we need to get back to why we are here. Let's get back to that question. Is there a place where someone can be pushed past scorned? Ladies and gentlemen, I am reporting from that very place as we speak. It is the land of giving no more fucks. Christians, church, congratulations. You broke something inside of me. Unfortunately for you, it wasn't my will. It was my ability to give any more fucks. I cared so much for so long that I literally spent all the fucks I had to spend on your opinion or about any of the stupid shit you want to argue about, debate, and make declarations about. Have at it. I attended your conversion therapy and Exodus conferences. I submitted to your patriarchy and bent over at your will. I tried, I prayed, I strived, I did everything I could think of, and yet it still was not enough. I memorized your catechism and listened to your abusive discipline. Part of you tried to break me because it was scared when it looked into my soul. You wanted me when I was pretty, quiet, delightful, serving, singing, entertaining, and anything else you wanted me to be. But when I came to you with broken bones and open wounds, you told me it was my fault and that if I didn't work harder, I couldn't be there anymore. What you didn't know, however, is that my God is bigger than your abuse. He is stronger than your judgment. Remember that hell you locked me in? Well, He was in there with me. I learned that I didn't need you to get to God. Isn't that the good news anyway? I found my identity in Him. Isn't that what you told me to do? I was taught that I would know them by their love. And I can see now that I have been guided by shining stars in the night, leading the way with love all along. You see, love conquers all. That is the good news, isn't it? So, you see, it's like Jesus said, if you cause one of these little ones who trust in me to fall into sin, it would be better for you to have a large millstone tied around your neck and be drowned in the depths of the sea. Matthew 18:6, New Living Translation. I don't have all the answers, but I found out that I don't need them. I don't care about your theological debates or religious declarations about my life, my love, or my God. Seriously, do what you will. Brethren, I beseech you, take up the motto of the medical profession to do no harm. This should be the standard that the church should wish to rise above. But currently, everyone seems to care more about judging people and telling them if and how they can be in their club. You should be ashamed of yourselves for the irreparable damage that has been done in the name of God. For what? For you to be right and to control someone's life? I don't care about any of that anymore. As for me, I'm going to be seeking out those you left in your wake, telling them they aren't alone, doing my best to show up as a loving presence in their life. Life is too short to waste it on meaningless endeavors. I'm going to follow the example that's been laid out for me, to care for the weary, broken, and downtrodden, to bring hope to the hopeless, to offer a helping hand along the way. For I am the woman at the well, and you cast me away. I am the man beaten on the road, and you left me for dead. I am the leper you cast away from your sight. I was hungry, and you told me I wasn't worthy of your crumbs. I will spend the rest of my days doing what I can to help people feel a little less judged, and a little less shamed, and a little more loved, and a little more cared for. I can't lead worship in your building or in front of your people because you don't want me. But that's okay. I have better things to do. So, peace and love to you. In all sincerity, I hope you spend the fucks I left with you wisely. Yours truly, Eagle Girl.